you have to submit 2 essays of 500 words each. One is in 500 words, please justify your candidature. This should include how the LAMP fellowship fits your career goals or prospects and why would you be a good candidate. So basically 2 parts. Number one, why you want to be a part of LAMP fellowship, why you want it, and number two is why should they select you, why you are selecting LAMP and why should LAMP select. Format for SOP is the introduction. Here it is the 500 word SOP. So when you have such a limited word limit, Pavan, we will have detailed question and answer round in the end. So you can lower your hand in the meantime, unless you have any specific issues. All right. So since the word limit is just 500 words, you have to be very, very prudent with the words. Here, the format. Now, all these are very subjective things. There is no clear-cut format. No, there is no objective standardization to all these things. We have just tried to create one so that it can fit for 80%, 90% of you who are, who find it little difficult to think about how to start or how to create that very compelling SOP for this. So, and feel free to incorporate all your inputs which you have in this. There is no rigid, thick line between what we are talking about and what you should be. All right. Now here you can have 4 parts. Number one is the introduction. Introduction starts with a strong hook. You can give around 50 to 60 words to this. Then alignment with your career goals. So basically why you want to be a part of this fellowship. So you can have around 150 to 200 words. That is the meat of this SOP. Then why you are a good fit. So basically why should they select you? What you bring to the table. You can again give around 150 to 200 words to this. And finally, you will have a conclusion of around 50 to 70. Here, when you start, give a compelling opening statement that captures your motivation for applying to the LAMP fellowship. Whenever you apply to all these opportunities, you have to write these kind of essays. Always think about what are they looking for. They are looking for your enthusiasm for the role, number one, with the LAMP and with the overall public policy space in general. So showcase that enthusiasm and motivation for this. Especially when you talk about public policy, everything in public policy can be learned apart from, let's say, motivation or enthusiasm. So if you should be very, very motivated towards this field, and that is very important criteria even while selecting a candidate for these kind of domains. So an opening statement should be very compelling, talking about your motivation. Then alignment with your career goals. So finally, in this, you should prove why LAMP is a natural choice for you. So you have to talk about all your experiences in a manner that they finally narrow down to this LAMP fellowship. Everything should connect in a manner. It should be a story. At the end of the day, it's the story which sells in the market and not the facts. So do not make something which is substitute of your resume. Everything should finally connect and narrow down to the LAMP fellowship. That okay, this is the solution for everything which I want in my life. Here you can talk about number one is, let's say, why it fits well. So your journey so far. Then when you will do the LAMP fellowship, what you will gain out of it. So highlight the skills, the knowledge and exposure you hope to gain through the fellowship. Also the exposure in terms of the possibility to create impact out of this fellowship. So basically your past till now, how it aligns with that. The present, how that will be useful for your future. And then explain how the fellowship fits well into your long-term career aspiration. So break it down into 3 parts, 50 words each maybe. Past, present, fellowship, and future. So this should be your strategy. Then why you are a great fit for this role. Actions taken in the past, which again aligns with the fellowship. So ultimately, the story which you will talk about, this story will by itself justify 50-60% of the task. Here, you have to showcase your passion towards public policy, demonstrated through either past projects you did, some volunteership which you did, or your educational background in all those studies. Highlight skills, experiences, and traits that make you a strong candidate for this specific role. Mention relevant academic qualifications, work experience, or extracurricular involvement. Now, if you are a fresher, you may not have a lot of work experience. You can certainly talk a lot about your extracurricular, involvement. Even if you are an ex-UPSC aspirant without any exposure of the corporate world or have any work experience, then also talk about everything else which you have. Talk about your UPSC journey in a very compelling manner about what is that unique about civil services journey which makes you fit for this. Focus on your analytical, research, writing, and interpersonal skills, which are crucial for the fellowship. Understand what are they looking for. Apart from your motivation, they are also looking for your ability to comprehend your thoughts well, that clarity of thought they are looking for. So ensure that you are able to showcase all those things via this application. Finally, conclude 50 to 70 words. Reiterate your enthusiasm for the fellowship and also your commitment to make meaningful contribution. This is how you should ideally go about for an SOP. Here, few things to be kept in mind. Number one, story sells in the market. Ensure that your story is very coherent, very compelling, so that they are number one motivated to read your story and then impressed by it to finally shortlist your application. Give a personal touch instead of just making it a substitute of resume. If they were demanding a resume, they would have directly asked for resume. They have decided not to. They are asking this SOP for a reason. Ensure that you comply with that. Second is show, don't tell. This is an important rule, even in consulting, that don't tell me that you are a leader. Don't tell me that you are motivated towards public policy. Prove. Tell me the claims. So tell me the specific examples about how you were so motivated about creating the impact, that you were part of that club which helped provide better education to kids from the slums. So that tells your intention to create impact instead of the talks only does not cook rice. Okay. Third is show your genuine enthusiasm, which means show your genuine passion and enthusiasm for the role while being very honest and authentic. This is the most important part. Be genuine. Do not just try to build a strong story. That alone does not help, because during interviews your whole interview will revolve around the essays, two essays which you will write. So 60, 70, 80% of the interview will revolve around that. So it's important that you should be genuine, even if you are not very crystal clear about why you want to be a part of this fellowship. Maybe the reason is you like diversity and you embrace diversity in life, and this fellowship will provide you an opportunity to further deepen your understanding of various diverse issues. Then talk about it in that manner and talk about it that why only LEM fellowship for achieving that diversity. You don't need to cook anything ki bhai, even if your goal is something else, but I have to cook my story only around public policy. That is not what they are looking for. They embrace diversity. Then use keywords and phrases strategically, which means, let's say, incorporate terms like legislative process, policy making, research, governance, impact, public service to show alignment with the LAMP fellowship's objectives. You can also, search the LAMP fellowship website. You'll find a lot of masala about all these stuff. Then proofread. Ensure there are no grammatical mistakes. It is grammatically accurate and there is clarity of thought. Focus on clarity and simplicity. Simplicity is very important. Avoid jargons. You don't need to showcase that you have a great lexicon there. There are better avenues to do that. Writing an essay is not. Then smooth liquid flow. Use transitions, a transition word to maintain flow, but ensure that there is smooth liquid flow in your between your paragraphs and within your paragraph. And no over chat GPT, please. If you'll just write SOP using chat GPT, just by reading, but just by glancing at it, I can easily tell whether it is by chat GPT or not. Use chat GPT as your slave, not as your master. Use chat GPT to take various inputs, but do not use chat GPT or directly ask chat GPT ki bana do bhai essay, and obviously it will provide you an essay, but you may not get selected. Stay relevant. Very important. Stick to experiences, skills, and goals which are directly related to LAMP fellowship. Stay relevant. Do not tell about something very, very irrelevant. Let's say you are great at dance. That's all right. But if that is not relevant for me, then do not overemphasize on it, at least, even if you are talking about it. Or at least showcase how both the things are interrelated to each other. Maybe your leadership skills, maybe your people management, whatever it is, or let's say your understanding of cultural aspect. It can be anything. At the end of the day, it's the stories we sell in the market, but build that story. Do not leave that hanging gap in your